let's start off with the fact that you've had an exceptional 2 years. We've seen ferrochrome prices plunging to 60 cents a pound, and of course capacity also coming down significantly last year, production under pressure. Looking forward now, are things looking a bit better?
Absolutely, absolutely. We cannot be more excited about the future. As you correctly put it, we started the year on a very, very low and somber mood. Coming back from good results, instead of being excited and looking, bullishly to the future, we were very unexcited about the future. But this time, we're posting a loss, but we're very excited about the future, and we're very excited. The market looks quite bullish.
Looking at last year, of course, utilization around 55%. Apart from that, the ferrochrome prices relatively depressed. You sold less chrome at very depressed prices. Looking at production going forward from here, can you comfortably say that we'll see it at around 85 to 90%?
I have to correct you there. The market started quite slow. We sold more than we sold in 2008. 26% increase in sales volumes compared to 2008. But the negative side of it is that it was in a very low market environment, pricing environment, at 69 cents during Q2 to 89 cents in Q3, rising slightly to 103 in Q4. But the big negative was the currency that killed us. The rand continues to strengthen and strengthen, as if we were ordained to this calamity. So yes, we sold a lot, but the revenues were quietly affected. But coming back to the second part of your question, yes, the outlook looks better. We're expecting increase in prices. We're now at 101 cents per US cents per pound. In Q2 prices, we're expecting a price increase. I can't tell you at the moment how much it is, but the spot prices are now at above 120, and normally that is a yardstick, that is an indication in that regard, and the future looks better.
Do you think that we'll see prices hit $2.10 a pound going forward? And that's, of course, when it touched that a couple of years ago.
Well, that is not out of the question, but I really do not think that this year we'll be realistic to expect that, but we do expect some decent prices, and we hope that the rand will not be playing truant with us all the time.
What do you think is going to push prices higher from these levels? Because the average price for ferrochrome is at 85 cents.
It is all a question of supply and demand. We're seeing demand continuing to rise, especially on the back of China. We're expecting China to go back after the New Year celebrations to 100% of capacity. Our order book is full for Q2. Q1 and Q2, our order book is full. We're standing at 10%, 10-week stock in terms of our inventories. From the normalized level of 14 to 16 weeks. So that there is no ferrochrome out there in the market lying around idle. So the demand continues to rise. We see recovery in America, and if you see recovery in America, that's where our problem started. That's also an indication, a positive indication of a brighter future. Europe is recovering also. Japan is strong. Taiwan is strong. Korea is strong. So all indications are that we are having we're going to have a very good 2010.
Costs are also a big issue right now, with electricity costs rising significantly, and your cost rose 20% in rand terms last year. Could you give us an indication of your normalized costs? Because the last 2 years have been very exceptional cases. We saw ferrochrome prices hitting 60 cents a pound last year. The year before that, we saw them touching $2.10. So exceptional times. Could you give us an indication in terms of your normalized costs?
Without taking the number, I can just refer you to our results and just take our revenue, our revenue number versus the EBITDA. Then you'll get the cost. You got a cost line there. But yes, as suffice that I can tell you the factors that would affect our costs. Number one is electricity, without any doubt. It will be electricity going forward. And therefore, you've got to get that back in one or the other on efficiencies. But we are the number one lowest cost producer in the world, and we set the trend. We've got the very efficient furnaces, the Premas technology. We have got wonderful technology that also will bring some efficiencies, like the pelletizing plant, the Autokumbu pelletizing plant that we call Project Bukamuso, that will also improve metallization and the recovery process. And also electricity consumption. So we are well prepared in that regard, and we're going to ameliorate the rising costs going forward. and I think we've got our hands on the handle.
Looking at the joint venture between Sentula and, of course, Merafe, and now you've put things on the sidelines at this stage of the game, could you give us some details as to why this JV has broken up?
I think it's divergent strategies as things evolved and as time elapsed. Nothing, it was a mutual and a cordial parting of ways. We have been doing surveys on an ongoing basis, and our shareholders have been saying, guys, this thing, the core business, the venture, is so small in our lives, that is now the shareholders. We only hope you are not going to defocus from the core business into a small and spend more time on something that has nothing, that there's no bearing on the valuation of Merafe at the stage. And
you're saying you're looking for opportunities independently, though.
We will look at opportunities independent from Sentula, but there better be good opportunities, otherwise we're not going to be looking. It has to be something that is worth spending time on.